Good morning. Happy Thursday. Only 4 days left before we kick off a new journey together. We start 50 days. 50 days of prayer and communion and intimacy with the Lord. And I'm excited about not only the journey of 50 days, but I'm excited about these 4 days that we have left to prepare you well. If someone has forwarded you this podcast and you have not yet heard Sunday's podcast, I want you to join me by going to my blog. Go to marktoops.com. Check out Sunday's podcast, which is going to outline for you what 50 days is. So that's not so intimidating when you hear the word 50, and that you get a little more insight into where that's coming from in my heart and the invitation that's there. But very excited that we are together. Also, if you are listening today and you have not yet listened to the podcast for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those might be important too, because those talk about some important things that are going to anchor us in the practicals for the journey. But if you've done all of that, then you find yourselves with me at 4 days away, and I bet you're excited as I am. We're talking this week about the practical things that we need in order to prepare, or the practical things that we need in order to succeed during the 50-day retreat experience. And one of the things that is critical for us if we are to succeed in our experience of 50 days is to have people that we're walking with as we are on the journey. Even myself, as I go on a 30-day retreat, I'm not doing that alone. I'll meet with a spiritual director once a day for about 30 to 45 minutes. Even I, as someone who has been in prayer for a while and feels really comfortable with the nuances of the spiritual life, even I would never attempt to do something like what we're talking about without the trusted companionship and guidance of a spiritual director. But the other thing that a spiritual director does is they hold you accountable. They help you recommit whenever you're struggling to commit. They help you stay focused whenever you are losing focus. Especially when you're trying to do something like 50 days in the midst of ordinary life, it's going to be important to have somebody that's holding you accountable to the little things, like, are you praying? Are you showing up to pray as focused as you were the early days? In other words, 50 days is a long time, and I don't know many of us who are going to be able to navigate that kind of stretch of time without somebody who's holding us accountable. Now, of course, I'll be offering the meditations for you. I'll even be offering some spiritual direction every once in a while. But it's important that you have someone that you can talk to about just how you're doing with your experience of prayer, and are you praying and things like that. And so all of this week, I've been asking you to think now about some things that are going to happen then. And one of the things that I would encourage you to think about now is, who can you talk to? Who can you share your heart with as you are in the midst of 50 days? Who can you check in with about your regularity of prayer? Who can you check in with once you start to struggle, if you start to struggle? Those things are going to be really, really important as you go along the way. What happens, though, whenever you do that, whenever you now ask someone to hold you accountable, is you can also ask that person to begin to intercede for you. Now, the joy of me being on a 30-day retreat is I get a chance to pray for you every day. And while I can't pray for you by name, I can certainly pray for all of you who are in the journey. And I would certainly ask that you spend some time in this 50 days praying for me when I'm on my 30-day. And I'll certainly let you know when I'm back. However, it's important for us to be together, not only in intercession, but be together in community. And that's going to require that you find somebody now who's going to hold you accountable and who you can share your heart with. Now, tomorrow we'll talk about what those conversations might look like. But today I want you to start to think about who that is. Who is it in your life who you can give permission to now so that you can check in with them during the 50 days? Tomorrow we'll talk about what you might be doing with them. Today you're thinking about who that might be. And in only 4 days we're going to begin, I think, one of the most exciting journeys that you've ever been on. Have a wonderful day today. Looking forward to being with you tomorrow. And until we see you, God bless.